Welcome to Voices podcast. I'm Chris, and this is Jim, aka J.P Riggall, musician and songwriter from Teesside.
I jumped into this lake, reaching for
I wouldn't say that, I think you're pretty mint on guitar,
But I've never really learnt anybody else's songs.
Right.
So my writing started because when I was about 12 and Oasis brought out Definitely Maybe, there was no lyrics in the sleeve.
Right.
And I was like obsessed with lyrics.
Yeah.
I grew up with the Beatles. It was like, I love these lyrics.
Yeah.
So, and it's quite funny because Oasis will always get compared to the Beatles.
Yeah.
But when I'm 12 and I didn't really talk to anybody about it, my first thought was these sound like the Beatles.
Right.
That was my first collection. I was like, wow, this is class.
Yeah.
So I started writing down all the Oasis lyrics and I studied and where to go. And
Yeah.
I've always been obsessed with lyrics. Not, they don't have to be like amazing. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not Shakespeare out. But, so when I started writing when I was about 17, I started putting songs together. They weren't very good, but I was just like, I wish if I could do one thing, it'd go back in time to when I was in my early 20s and be able to write songs. Like I can write them now. Because you can just sculpt songs now.
Well, you can't you? You can just craft them. Yeah.
Just, I know what I'm writing about. I didn't really start hitting the nail on the head with songwriting until about 14 years ago, I reckon.
So when would you say then? So you started writing when you were 17. When would you say then you kind of discovered your sound, as it were?
I wrote a song called Dear for the Broken Broadcast. That'd been about 14 years ago.
Right.
And that was, I was telling about this last week, wasn't I? You know, I was talking about that block there, Phosphorescent, who had that song called Wolves.
Yeah.
So essentially I was like, oh wow, this song, this Wolves by Phosphorescent, is essentially, he's using animals
Right.
for reference. I mean, I love animals, and deer's probably my favourite. So I was like, why don't I try doing that? So I wrote a song called Dear about, essentially, a mother and deer, her children, getting lost and caught by a farmer and numbered.
Right.
And I was like, I can't believe I just wrote that song.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, that was class. So that's essentially how I write songs, is like, what's the title and what's it going to be about?
Yeah.
Think of a cool title. I like naming.
Yeah. All your titles are pretty cool, like.
And then go, right, well, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Most of my songs are, they'll probably start with a minor. Not that I always start with a minor, but a good minor, a good solid minor chord.
Yeah.
Especially for the melancholy stuff I write, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I think I've got like 3 or 4 songs that have no minors in. I'll just take it from there, really. But
So in terms of kind of writing and then kind of crafting it and producing a song, how do you go then from the initial idea, like the title and then the lyrics, to making it sound like you? Because obviously, I was listening to your stuff again on the way in, and you've got your guitars, acoustic guitars, mellotrons, electric pianos, instrumentation. But how do you go making sure that it sounds like you?
I can't not, I don't think. I always used to think years ago, like, I think all my songs don't sound the same. And I do have an ability somewhat to make my songs not sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
While still sounding like myself. So I do like that part of myself. There's nothing conscious that I've done.
Right.
I think it depends on the pace of the song, lyrically, and how much space is going to be in the song, whether it's a Weathership song or a solo song.
Solo song, yeah.
And after that's pace, you know what I mean? So it's like, if it's really slow, I might strum the acoustic. I play like a D standard, so it's all the way down.
Right.
So that depends whether I can strum a nice strum.
Yeah.
Or pick.
Right.
There's some stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound very good when you pick it, and some stuff sounds good when you strum it. And then it's just like, what's the pace? Does this need electric rhythm or acoustic rhythm? So the Weathership stuff's all me and electric, with occasion with like a keys undertone, because there's 3 guitars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I started playing acoustic guitar, I'd just get lost.
Right.
So we just play bits.
Yeah.
And they all kind of weave around each other. But solo stuff, yeah, I do a bit more acoustic. I got a bit crazy in the last album.
Yeah.
I thought I'll write an acoustic album.
Was that a Duke County?
Dukes County just
Yeah.
ended up being massive.
Yeah, I love that album.
Do you know why? The thing is, right, the reason why I bought a bass off Marketplace, and it was just obviously with my Beatles obsession, it was just one of those little Epiphone McCartney violin basses. So I down-tuned it.
Yeah.
Got some old strings on there, and then just palm muted all the bass.
Right.
And I was like, this needs to be on the album.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great sounding album. Like honestly, I love
Proper
it.
thumps in the car as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The bass proper, like I couldn't get rid of the low end on it. Proper thumps. But yeah, so I was like, and then obviously once you've done that, you need drums.
Yes.
So you can't put drums on an album without and a bass.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I've got drums, bass, a piano, my acoustic.
Yeah, is that you on the drums as well then?
Yeah, so I map them out because I'm not a very good drummer. And my studio, I can't get drums in, so I'll map them out, pots and pans and all that malarkey.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and sample them and
All right.
get samples that match. And
So we're talking like finger drums on the MIDI kit.
anything that works, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that works. Like Black Tusk is a drummer from London, and I got his files.
Yeah.
So I think that was the album previous to that was there was loads of drums left over from Broken Broadcast stuff,
Yeah.
and I just sent them all through Triggers
Right.
and I had Abbey Road before I lost everything. I had a Mac crash.
Yeah.
I lost everything, but I had Abbey Road and I had I just sent all the old Broken Broadcast bits and bobs through Triggers and they came back. So like Davey and I don't know who else just drummed on it, to be honest.
All right.
Because I shot all these old drums through Triggers and then used them all.
Yeah. Oh, great.
That's the best thing about Weathership is you can tell it's just there's just 5 people smashing away, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's just a whole set of groove.
Yeah.
So I love Dukes, but like I'd love to be able to just play the whole thing live consistently.
Yeah. So when you're writing then, so you've got Weathership and you've got your own solo stuff. How do you decide then which song belongs with which kind of medium or which avenue to go down?
I write purposefully, so I don't sit there write a song. Go, who does that sound for?
Right.
I'm not. It depends what mood I'm in, so I'll know what I'm writing. So I wrote a Weathership song today, for possibly for the next. Well, it won't be for this album, but it'll be for the next one. And I write in album specific as well.
Right.
So we're doing the debut album now. I hate calling it the debut. We've been around for ages. It's a bit weird, isn't it? So the Weathership album has got to mix today one of the tracks called Golden Age, which is the opener. And I wrote it as an album.
Yeah.
And then I've got like The Swimmer, which is our last single.
Yeah.
Was written as a track 5.
Right.
You know, it might not end up quite track 5, but
Yeah.
when you get an album, it's like that is that number.
Yeah. Right in the middle. Yeah.
Just everyone must know it because
Yeah.
albums now. You listen to an indie album, track 1 is always like it's got a meaning, it's got a bang behind it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's a reason why. You know, last track of the album, it's always got a bit of maybe it might be slow, big ending.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Anthemic in some ways. So
Yeah.
you know, there is a format.
Yeah.
It's loose, but there's a format there, and that's how I write as well. Right, so I need this track. So the Blue, that was our second single, but that is a second track on an album. It was written as a second track on an album.
Cool.
I don't know. It's just the way it is.
So again, going back to like your journey from 17-year-old starting writing those Oasis lyrics out to now where you've got this catalogue behind you. Your first album, was it your solo one? Was it called Long Dark Bright?
That's the first solo album.
First solo. So how has your writing changed in that time, or what have you learnt about writing, crafting, producing from there to Juice County Motel?
I think a lot of my writing follows the same format, but if you listen to that first record, that's where the concept starts. You know, the title track, it's on there 4 times in different ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was the purpose. which kind of led me to think, oh, like how I can record things in different ways.
Yes.
I forgot the question.
Yeah. So like, it's all right. So like, in terms of like, has your writing changed from Long Dark Bright to Duke's County Motel or anything like what have you learnt about the whole process?
I try and forget everything I've learned about songwriting.
Right.
I think everything you learn too much can become generic.
Right.
You listen to certain bands now who have been around 10 years, 20 years.
Okay.
The latest songs, it sounds like them, and that's it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes the more you know, the worse it is.
Yeah.
And that's why I like playing piano. I'm really poor at playing piano.
Right.
But I know chords in it.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I play a note on a chord and I play the other chords that I know, and it means I can sing along to it.
Right.
I'm not trying to like do loads of, I can't.
Yeah.
I can only write the song.
Does it mean it kind of forces you to go down a certain route? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I watch you play piano, I'm like, bloody hell. It's amazing. But if I played piano like you, I think I would end up just playing piano like you.
Right,
I
okay.
think there's an element of the type of songs I write that I would be like, oh, I'm losing the melody here.
Right. I see.
I've written some of my guitar parts on the piano, like so on Duke's, I'd written 8 songs. 8, 9 songs. I was like, but I've got an album here, but I've got no first song and no last song.
Yeah.
So the last 2 songs I wrote were Way Beyond the Pines, track 1. So I wrote that as a track 1, and I wrote Down Through the Woods as a last track.
Yeah.
So the purposely wrote as first and last track. And Way Beyond the Pines, again, like I said about my guitar skills, they're alright.
Yeah.
But the lead guitar part at the beginning, it's one of my favourite guitar parts,
Yeah.
but I wrote it on piano.
Right.
So it's like do 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 do.
Yeah,
And I relearned it on guitar.
See, I've got a guitar, and I don't play guitar. I've never played guitar, and I've thought about doing what you do, which is writing on an instrument that you're not like 100% familiar with. And I tried it, but it sounded like I was wearing oven gloves, basically. But I might try that, as a different kind of approach to it. The one thing I've seen that well, obviously there's a lot that links the albums in terms of your writing. I mean, they're all great, first of all. I was listening to them on the way in, like I said. And the other thing, though, is the artwork. So it really struck me, the artwork. And I absolutely love looking at it on your Bandcamp page. I love looking at the artwork. And what seems to stand out to me, and I don't know if it does to you, is these themes of like isolation or travel and United States. So is that deliberate? Is that...
It's always it's a strange one, because if you look at the current situation in America, it's like it's as bleak as it is here.
Yeah.
So it's, as much as I like a lot of US culture, I also hate some of it as well.
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So I think a lot of it's more of a dream
Right.
place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Teesside's class.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what I mean? So some of it is here,
Yeah.
and some of it is like, do you know what? What if Teesside was in Washington State?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? With massive trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that visage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the artwork, I can't draw that well.
Right.
I'm okay. I can doodle.
Yeah.
If I spend a lot of time, I can draw something to a cartoonish effect.
Yeah.
So if you'll see some of the Weathership stuff we've done,
Yeah.
that I've drawn, is like, it's like, Yellow Submarine-ish.
Right.
But I mean, 4 or 5 years old, I've got, my mum and dad had records, but then we started getting CDs. But we had a pile of records in the corner, actually. My dad gave me these a few months ago. But one of them is Sgt. Pepper's, Big Red. Open it up, there's a big skate with the 4 of them in there.
Yeah.
Those uniforms are in, and I was just amazed by it.
Yeah.
Artwork's always been there for me. It was just, I can't imagine having an album with no artwork.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is it though about those themes that kind of I saw them, and you mentioned this last time actually, when I saw you, when you came to mind last week. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? I can't remember.
Where did the weeks go?
Yeah, sometime like that. And you mentioned True Detective, and when I first heard The Vagrant, that's one thing that popped into my mind. The Vagrant and the first series of True Detective popped into my mind, and it was mental that you mentioned it. So, but what is it about those themes that keep popping up in your artwork?
It's the mystery, I think.
The mystery, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely the mystery.
Yeah.
What were we watching the other day? I was watching the new Cobra, like Series 2 Cobra,
Right.
and because I don't find we get many really good mystery British stuff.
Yeah.
So again, that tends to be like American stuff.
Right, yeah,
do you know
yeah.
what I mean? True Detective Series 1's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's class,
But
isn't
to be fair, it's got them two in it.
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
and Woody Harrelson. They're both brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's like, I watched that, and I watched what was the one in Iceland called?
One with Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Night Country.
No, that's the latest one, but the
right.
first season of that.
Oh, I don't know.
No, you're thinking of the latest True Detective. So there's one in Iceland called Fortitude.
All right.
You seen Fortitude?
No.
So the first season of Fortitude, imagine Lost
Yeah.
meets Night Country.
Right.
It's a bit like that. And that's very like, ooh, mysterious.
Yeah.
And there's a song at the beginning of it as well. It was just like, this is blowing my mind, this song.
Yeah.
And that's the direction I want to take the Broken Broadcast in. So Broken Broadcast, we did an album in 2013 called How Not to Cut a Buffalo, and it's I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's like basic folk and stuff. I love it still, but the direction I want to take was just more bigger.
Yeah.
And we ended up changing members. I think we put like an EP out of like 5 songs. Me, Davey, Grays and Snowy. But I never really got to do it. So that's what, between that and True Detective, when I had a broken foot in 2015, I was just sat there and I was just like, this is what I want to write an album about.
Right. Yeah.
It needs to be like sparse.
Yeah.
Again, mysterious, really.
Yeah. Oh, great. So, in that mysterious kind of thing, Juice County Motel, you mentioned to me beforehand, which it's about a fictional place. So, tell me a bit more about that kind of fictional place.
Yeah. So again, that just leads back onto this idea of I always have this place that's just amazing in my head, and I guess it's based on Washington County, Washington State, that I've seen pictures of and stuff, and films that are set there, and similar places like Canada, and there's a place in Canada across the water called Victoria.
Right.
So when I went to Florida years and years ago, there's Epcot Center.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
So Epcot Center is it's got the whole world around this big ball, and you can visit different countries.
Yeah.
The first one you get to is Canada, and you go into there and you go into this 360 cinema.
Yeah.
And the whole, it's only like 10-minute little film.
Yeah.
And it takes you on this place called Victoria. And I was just like, wow, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like 10 years ago now, 20 years ago. And I was like, so I've always like had this vision of this Canadian town.
Yeah.
So I guess it's all based on there. But yeah, I've been drawing up a map of where all my songs would be based, because they all just come from this same place.
Right.
Since The Long Dark Bright, really.
Yeah.
It's just been in my head.
That's amazing. That honestly is amazing, because when I write, I write basically a song comes into my head and I write it down. There's no kind of like, what's the word? I was going to say substance, but like there's no like kind of like imaginary world behind it. It's just a song that exists on its own. But that's amazing. That blew my mind when you said that, because I just never. I don't know. I didn't put the two things together, that it might exist in this imaginary world that exists in your head.
It's a bit cartoon-like, but I'll send you it.
Yeah.
So so it's split into counties. So there's Dukes County and Laurel County, and so they're split, and then there's different places.
And these are fictional places.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's blows my mind. Really
so they're all on this map. They're not all my songs are, because some songs are there. They're not, but they're not based on the place.
Yeah.
So if it was say, I can't think of the top of my head. So like, so Magic River, right, is based on a magic river.
Yeah.
And the magic river is on the map. You can see it.
Right.
It looks all colourful.
Yeah.
Whereas, another song like of Duke's could be Slow Down, but there's no place or reference on there.
Ah, right, I see.
But it's still there.
Still
it's
there,
still
yeah.
based in this place, but
Right.
there's no frame of reference on the map because, you know what I mean, if you wrote a love song about your missus,
Yeah.
you couldn't just put it on the map. Could you?
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
some of them aren't on there, but they are based on there.
But they're all based in
There's
that
a few
thing, yeah.
references.
Honestly, I'm going to say it again, it blows my mind because it's like, it's so creative way of doing it. It's class, yeah, it's mint. I forgot what my next question is now, so I have to very unprofessionally get my iPad. So in terms of your writing then, so you've got like this imaginary world, and that map, is it something that you've actually drawn out physically?
Yeah, but it's on a computer. I can't draw, so I've done it on a computer that I use to do my artwork.
Yeah.
So it's all cartoon based.
Yeah.
So I use things like Canva and stuff, and you come with elements, so you can, like, there's a boat on there.
Right. And do you have that like around you when you're writing, like as a kind of like muse?
Yeah, so it's in my head anyway, to be honest.
Right.
It's always in my head, yeah. I've got my phone, I'll see what I can find, yeah. This is the internet connection here, isn't it? I'll load that up on here.
I love Canva.
I can't get in, honestly. It's so easy to use. And I do everything on there, every last part of my art, all the stuff, loads of stuff done for the shop. Gig posters I use. Can you get it on there?
I haven't got any connection. It's only a Wi-Fi one. That's crazy. That's class. Any chance, right, I could get a copy of this? Because like anyone watching this podcast now would be going like, "What's he looking at?" But if you don't mind,
Yeah, it's pro.
is there any chance, just so people can see?
Yeah, it's pro. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to give away all your secrets, but it blows my mind that. Honestly, my songs are like that. All right, are so like kind of literal. That just exist as a song, like you say, a love song to my wife, or a song about the end of the world, and that's what it's about. But it doesn't exist in any other form other than that song. But that blows my mind.
But that is the stuff I stepped into. So 2015, literally the first week, my wife played. She used to play American football for Great Britain.
Right.
So she's not massive or anything. She's still very slight. She's very fast.
Yeah.
So she run with the ball very fast. So she used to play American football.
Yeah.
So she goes down to Hertfordshire. They used to travel there, train down south near London.
Yeah.
And she comes back and she's like, shows me a finger and the end of her finger's bent.
Right.
Oh, what have you done? Took the ball wrong. So she got up on the Sunday morning. She goes to hospital. It's broken. But when she takes herself off to hospital. I've got a football match.
Right.
So I used to run a football team.
Yeah. So
I got a football. I'm like, I'm dreading this. I really want to play.
Yeah.
1 minute into the match, someone passes me the ball, and I passed the ball off, and I planted my foot, and some thug just went straight through the top of my foot, and it took all the ligaments and the bones off the top of my foot. It's called a Lisfranc injury.
Right.
You actually get it playing around football.
Right.
But it's called Lisfranc because the first person who had it and they did the surgery was on a ship.
Right.
And he was a cannon master.
Right.
And it was when the cannons would fall back out of the cannon and land on your foot.
Ah, right. Oh God.
So that's the injury I had.
Yeah.
So the lump,
Send me a
honestly,
photo.
I can send you a photo. I can send you a photo before and after. So before, I looked like I had a tennis ball under my skin.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was in that much pain. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I've never been in pain where I ended up laughing before. Like, I couldn't move. I couldn't sit. I was so uncomfortable with pain. Yeah. I was just sat there laughing. I was like, I think we need to go to hospital. And then afterwards, it looked like a Cornish pasty.
Right.
And so, like 3-4 months on the couch.
Yeah.
Which was spent watching crime, mysteries, and reruns of 1990s wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm watching. This is what we started doing. It must have been really new. This is where I started doing Tesco home delivery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously I wasn't going to go to Tesco. So I started doing Tesco home deliveries.
Yeah.
And I was watching reruns. I don't know if you know Dan Cook. he gave me loads of old CDs
Right.
of wrestling he'd recorded and downloaded to watch. So I'm watching one, and one is like an uncut version of D-Generation X.
Right.
So if anybody doesn't know who D-Generation X are, it's a crude wrestling faction. So I paused it, I hobbled to the door to answer the Tesco guys, and like, oh, don't worry, we'll come in, we'll help you Tesco. So
Yeah.
I hobbled back into my crutches, realised that Raw was like wrestling was really like,
Yeah, yeah.
and basically there was some very
Yeah.
weird things going on in wrestling. So just as I come into the living room, because I'm in a flat, so my living room,
Yeah.
my kitchen's all in the room, I fell over my crutches, reaching for the remote. So I'm lying on the floor, trying to turn the TV off, as these two Tesco guys are just like putting the Tesco shopman down, staring at me on the floor,
Yeah.
with like not quite naked ladies on the TV.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. That was my only funny story from being on the couch for 4 months, I'm afraid.
I can't remember what question led up to that, to be honest.
So that was what was I saying? Yeah, so that's how it started. It was just 4 months of like
Yeah.
watching all this stuff.
Yeah.
What else did I watch in that time? Look, it was 2015. It was class because it was when Sky Atlantic had just started.
Yeah.
And they were putting everything on it, and it was class.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it went rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't remember what question I asked on the back of that. So in terms of, obviously, your writing, you've got like this map that you've created of this fictional kind of world where some of the songs are based in or where they come from. Is there any like specific place where you do your writing?
Not really. I loved writing in my flat when I lived there years ago. It was just it was just my little flat, and
Yeah.
just sit there with an acoustic guitar. It was class.
Yeah.
But now it's just trying to find the time.
Yeah.
Really.
I was going to ask you about that, and we were talking about it briefly beforehand, before we started recording. But obviously, you work full time. You're in the process of opening a guitar shop. You've got a family, and then you've got this amazing like back catalogue of songs and this upcoming catalogue of songs. So how do you find the time to actually do that?
I don't know. I've got ADHD, mate. So
All right. Is it like a bit of a superpower?
it is because I can't go to be doing something.
Right.
If I like, I've started writing the next Weathership album. It's in the bag, like in terms of what I've got. I haven't recorded all my parts, but all my stuff's written.
Yeah.
Just changing up a few little lyrics. I'll sit down and play a song. Actually, do you know what,
Yeah.
So it's there, and when I finish that, I'll start. I wrote a song today, but to be honest, I think it probably will be on the one after the one after.
Yeah.
I've got another solo one I've written. I'm still a couple of songs short, but it's so far away. I don't need to push that. To be honest. The shop stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'll sit there and I hold stuff in my head. Like my wife has lists.
Right.
Like I try and write song lyrics down so I don't forget them.
Yeah.
But I love starting things.
Right. Yeah.
My
yeah.
ADHD is
Yes.
I love starting things.
Yeah.
So my studio space is just books.
Yeah.
Like with 10 pages written in.
Right.
And then another book with other 10 pages. So like I've got a nice big red thing. And I buy these squared paper.
Right.
Like square paper.
Yes, like graph paper almost. Yeah.
So then I can, rather than just writing lyrics in, I can do any tabs.
Right.
I can design anything.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the shop as well, I've been trying to figure out where we're going to put stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always just on the go. So
Yeah.
I've got 2 young kids. Put them to bed at night if we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then when I'm just downstairs, I'll be writing stuff.
Not
on
sleeping.
my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not sleeping.
Yeah.
I used to
Crazy.
get- I used to get
Honestly,
really,
it's class. I mean, I need sleep. I need to sleep, and obviously I work full time as well, and I write slowly, and but like that's amazing. I mean that fictional world that you've created and that kind of that ability to hold those things in your head, it just blows my mind. Yeah, nice one.
It's always the new song though for me.
Yeah,
Like I've got like songs I'm really proud of.
yeah,
I'm not gonna sit and say I've got the best songs. I've got songs I'm proud of.
yeah.
But it's always the next song.
Right,
We get to practice as Weathership and like, can we do a new song?
right.
Can we do a new song?
Yeah, yeah,
Which is mad, really. We've got too many songs for, because when you're in a band around here,
yeah,
you get slots in the 30 minutes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You'll get your own show twice
Yeah.
a year, and when you can do everything.
yeah,
But support slots festival slots,
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got obviously far too many songs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, can we do a new song? Can we do a new song? I love hearing that new thing, that next
yeah.
thing. Do you know what I mean? Snowy's like, he's got like these effects pedals, these multi effects things where he chooses his own, he puts it together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's always like, what's he going to come up with next? I'm always a bit disappointed when it's just like, So just get in, mate. Is that it?
Just get in.
Where's your reverse trem with shimmer? Do you know what I mean? And Nick's got like an organ on his. Do you know what I mean? He's got a pog, so he can get organ sounds. And,
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? So the five of us, it's always like, I want to do the next.
Just something completely different.
We've got a sampler as well. We've got two samplers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like always the next thing.
Awesome. So what's next for you then? So I know you're opening the guitar shop in Stockton.
Yeah, so that's Vagrant Guitars, mate. So hopefully September, waiting for the builders to come in. Weathership album's getting mixed now. That's out November. I've got these solo shows. I've got this little mini tour that I'm starting next week.
Yeah.
So I've got those 4 shows. So they're just going to be... I'm just going to do some songs from my albums and try and push some sales, to be honest.
Yeah.
'Cause, I never really got to do many.
No.
Willow had surgery like a year and a bit ago. So last summer, when I put Dukes out, I was a bit tied up.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's put it out. It's a good album. But you do need to go and gig a few times for albums, regardless, because people aren't going to hear it.
Yeah.
People don't hear it anyway. Never
course,
letting on if you do go out.
Yeah.
But we need some more medium other than Spotify, because there's no.
Yeah.
Even as someone who likes tunes, like there's just not enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. So do you prefer people to go through Bandcamp, or does it not bother you where people get your music from?
We'd make more money from Bandcamp, which would just push the next one, but like the differential is like we'd still need loads of people to do it.
Yeah.
We get loads of people to listen to Spotify, but all of them aren't going to use Bandcamp, and you can't expect them to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course,
Because I don't use Bandcamp loads. I use it a bit, and I'll find stuff, and I'll buy it, and I'll download it. But I don't use it loads. How can I expect somebody else to do that?
Of course,
Do you know what I mean? I use Spotify.
Yeah.
It's accessible. I can put it on in my car. I can listen to some songs on the way around the corner. Just press play. It's already on there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard. You know what I mean? That somebody somewhere needs to go, and it's going to start with the big people. It's going to start with Rihanna. It's going to start with Coldplay.
Yeah.
Take our stuff off Spotify until you start paying everybody correctly.
Yeah.
But you go on there now. So I go on Spotify the other day, and I've never seen this before. So this has happened twice. Once the other day when I went on there, opening page, it said, he is, when you go down there. Oh no, it doesn't. So it did this the other day, but it had so it's got a main screen, and it was advertising an album somebody I'd never heard.
All right.
How did you get that? and then the other one was, I went on there, and there was The Last Dinner Party.
Yeah.
They had a single out on it. It was a music video on the front page.
I didn't know that.
So you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just gatekeeping all the
Yeah, of course,
everything.
yeah.
Isn't
It's
it?
like pushing a certain thing towards you. Yeah.
It's like when U2 put their album on everybody's iPhone.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like even if it, like regardless of it being U2 and whether you want to listen to U2, that's shocking.
Yeah.
Like can you just put my album? Can you give me £1 million and put my record on everybody's phone?
Oh, well, thank you very much. I totally appreciate it coming and having a chat with me. Obviously, we've got a gig on the 7th of September.
Yeah, you're going to join me in that 7th on piano. It's going to be wonderful. That's at Last Train Home. So I'm at North East Volume a week Friday, which is the 16th.
Yeah.
Supporting Tom Hingley from Inspiral Carpets. I've got Fulford Arms in York on the 22nd. That's with Church Honey.
Yeah.
And Sea Change in South Shields. That's the 13th of September. And then it's all Weathership after that.
Yeah, great.
So these are probably my last solo shows for a while.
Yeah.
Weathership's. The thing with Weathership is every time we do something, it goes great, and because of lives, we don't get to push on.
Yeah.
So we've done Stockton Calling 2 years in a row, early.
Yeah.
Rammed the stage. Like we played North East Volume last year and they couldn't get in.
Yeah.
We were on first.
Yeah.
And then this year we played the Sorcerer Rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
Sorcerer Rooms. And I think we were second on. And Sorcerer Rooms is massive and it was almost full, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Great.
So, but you need to crack on after you've done it.
Yeah, you need to keep doing it.
It's hard because cracking on means going easy little tour we're doing. which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fun, 'cause
But like I say, everyone's got lives.
it's
Everyone-
not just that. Like, try and get a gig in Manchester and you're a band and they're still saying to you, how many people can you bring?
Yeah.
But Dom, we've just started.
Yes.
And if I was going to bring people, I'd just stay home and play it, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
It's just mad. Like, Teesside's class because, you know, you got any volume, other places as well. But I'll use them as an example.
Yeah.
Anybody can get a gig there.
Yeah, any volume's
and
great.
Lee'll take some, you know, it's a young band from, you know, Budley Salterton, and they're like, oh, we play indie rock. Come on, mate. We won't be able to pay
I was there 2 weeks ago. It was great. It's a great venue.
So, but we need, like, other places need to do what places around here do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brad Barnes and Hartlepool's put people on for ages. Jimmy Beck, do you know what I mean? The list goes on.
Yeah.
But, like, who are the other people in other places that do it?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Anyway, well, thank you very much.
You too. Thank you very much.